Welcome back to GeeklyEDU Biology. In this video, we're going to ask a fun question of, are humans the only animals that cry? So, do animals cry other than humans? And the answer really is it depends, because there's actually three types of crying, or three types of tears. The first is called continuous or basal tears, and these are tears that are just mainly for your basic eye function. So you can be thought of these tears as just kind of cleaning your eye and making sure that it's working. The next is called reflex tears. So this is when it's a reflex, as the name says. So when we're exposed to some sort of eye irritation, such as a super bright light, we will automatically produce a little bit of tears just to protect our eyes. And then we have psychic tears, which are the tears that we normally think of when we think of crying, which is to shed emotions. So then we can go back to the question of, do animals cry? And so the answer is that all land vertebrates, and vertebrates are basically animals with backbones, so think other mammals and birds, they have continuous tears and potentially even reflex tears. So these are the tears that are important for eye function and to protect our eyes. But humans are the only known animals to actually have these psychic tears, which are known for emotional crying. So why did humans evolve to have psychic tears? Because evolutionarily, it makes sense to keep our eyes lubricated so that they function, but it doesn't really make sense in an evolutionary form, so it doesn't help us survive if we have blurry-eyed vision after something emotional, say a breakup. But scientists think that crying has evolved as a way to communicate with humans. And in this sense, it really does help us survive and have higher fitness evolutionarily. Because crying is really useful to keep social bonds strong. So if you're crying in front of someone, you're going to actually become closer to them emotionally, and that's going to have them help you probably in the long term, increasing your fitness. And it's also a really great way to tell people who are close to you that you are vulnerable without letting predators know. So if you're crying, you can still keep it a little bit hidden from something that's, say, hunting you. And then on top of that, we also know that babies, one of the best ways that they get attention is by crying. So babies with the most alarming cries might actually be selected for over time. So when we say selected for, this just means that a baby with a very loud cry is going to get maybe fed more often, and then they're more likely to survive and pass on their genes for loud crying, and then over time we get a bunch of loud crying babies. So that is kind of how the evolution of crying may have formed in humans. Talking a little bit more on the science of crying, so our psychic tears actually start in the hypothalamus, which is a part of the limbic system in the brain. So this is basically the emotion center of the brain. So here we see the limbic system, and then here's the different parts of the hypothalamus. And this is part of our autonomic nervous system. So this is the part of the nervous system that controls the functions of your body that you don't have control over. So this is controlling things such as breathing. And so in this system, a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine actually controls the production of tears. So once this is produced in the brain, then we'll have tears starting to form. And then tears also produce a natural painkiller called leucine and enkephalin. And so this is potentially why after you have a really good cry, you feel pretty good, potentially because you have this natural painkiller which forms certain types of endorphins. That's it for today's video. I hope that you learned a little bit more about why we cry and the function of crying. And if you want to learn more about other biological processes, please subscribe here.